And here we are.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Nerdmotron movie commentary with movie chosen by special guest. What are we watching today?
Today we continue the 6 degrees of separation nonsensical gimmick that I came up with arbitrarily to follow a flow of movies. And following the first film we watched with Gary Oldman in Lost in Space.
Sorry, excuse me.
Gary Oldman. Sorry,
Thank
apologies. You. Oh God, I almost feel like we should start again. So Gary Oldman in Lost in Space, he was also in The Fifth Element.
Yep.
And in The Fifth Element we had Milla Jovovich.
Yeah. She
stars in today's movie, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
We have my original DVD copy in hand here from 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
It looks a little worse for wear and the disc has some potential visible signs of disc rot, but we'll see how we get on.
Like a zombie.
Oh, it's very appropriate. It's very appropriate.
So this might cut out at some point.
Yeah, but right now, let's just go in 3, 2, 1, play. Though it is playing, so give it a sec to actually sync up and read the disc.
Yeah.
Okay, logos. Constantine Films, flickering.
God, that's an obnoxious logo.
Constantine Film. It's stopped.
That one really insisted
More
upon
flickering.
itself.
Little Pegasus flying along. What's this, Columbia Pictures?
God, this is so flickery. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Metropolitan Films, not... I don't know films. Constantine
Films presents. Davis Films presents.
Umbrella logo.
Right, if we're not synced up
We're
now,
good.
We never will be.
First fun fact of the movie.
Yeah?
Uncredited cameo for this voiceover from Mr. Jason Isaacs.
Oh, really?
It is Jason Isaacs doing it at the beginning of the 21st century.
Interesting.
Became the leaders in killing people. 8 out of every 10 cats.
I like a bit of Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do, but it's just odd that he was uncredited. I mean, to be honest, he's probably one of the more interesting little bit part actors in this, but we'll come through the cast. But we have this film. I haven't seen this in so long, but I always remember it being brilliant. And then following our chat last week, it felt like this was a perfect little next step in the chain.
Indeed. Yeah, it is actually... It gets a lot of flack for some reason, but I don't know why, because it's actually genuinely pretty good. I have watched it quite recently as well, so...
Oh.
Like, look at this. This is
brilliant,
a shot, isn't it? This is a choice.
And also the music, which we're not hearing because we're unmuted. The Marilyn Manson soundtrack is amazing. He did the soundtrack with a guy called Marco Bertram. It was his first ever attempt at soundtracks. I do remember seeing an interview of him years ago, actually, where he was talking about how he wrote it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm not musically trained. I don't know how to write music. So I basically just write words and shapes and pictures on bits of paper and help them. And the composer helps me translate it. So they're working together. But it came out really well. His music's amazing.
That's quite interesting.
Well, we'll come to the quite interesting later.
That doesn't seem like an efficient way of storing anything, really.
It's not about efficiency. It's about it looking cool.
Well, yeah.
Like a video game.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
So, yeah, we have... This is Paul W.S. Anderson directing.
Whirring.
That's it. I really like the machining on that box. It's quite an obviously hand-machined prop. And this is one thing I really like about some of the, certainly older films when you see the props that they make. Either it's found objects or really hand-machined and really expensive things. And the props in this I always thought were quite good.
Yeah.
Nice sets and production. It was fairly mid-range budget for the time. I think it was only about 40 million or something.
Yeah, I think it's mostly practical effects, I think. There's a bit of CGI jankiness later on. I think that's rude.
Yeah.
That's very rude.
Gosh, there's one thing I forgot about watching DVDs is how blocky the subtitles are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, well, we've got the cast coming in. I should get going through this, but I'll just go through
Dogs! Oh, no, they come to an unfortunate end.
Oh, they do. In the filming of this, they really, when they're all zombified, they really struggled to keep the makeup off on them because they would just eat it off.
Yeah.
Licking all their makeup off all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this film, Resident Evil, released in 2002, and originally called Resident Evil Ground Zero, but they changed the name for obvious reasons after 9/11.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it was largely filmed in Berlin, which is why there's a high number of sort of German or European actors and things, which we'll come to in a minute.
I recognised him.
you'll recognize a lot of these people, but not for much, and it's all these little things. And then actually, they had really prolific careers elsewhere, like Germany and places like that. But other than that, it's like a lot of characters that have only really popped up in a couple of things. A lot of things. This is the thing they're best known for, or so what are they best known according to IMDb?
Well, shit's really hitting the fan here. So, Paul W.S. Anderson, what else has he done?
We need to save our research rather than ourselves.
Well, that's vitally important research that they're doing, probably.
Very, very good employees, aren't they?
They're probably threatened with death. I mean, they're threatened with death right now. Hello? Hello? Save us! So yeah, what else is Paul W.S. Anderson done?
Well, interesting.
With his life.
This is the second movie he's done based on a video game. He did the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah,
he hasn't done a lot of other things, to be honest, that I could see specifically. He's written, he's had a fairly consistent career, but not a whole lot. He's done a lot of these Resident Evil movies with his wife. I actually didn't make a huge note of them because it was just like Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat. Oh, Event Horizon. That was the other significant one. That was the other really significant one that I was like, yeah, that's good. And then he gave up on the Resident Evil franchise recently, and he's just started a new film with Mila Jovovich fighting monsters.
Oh, right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
The silly man.
That is silly.
Another following on another link from the last movie. He also married the lead actress after filming this movie.
Well, there you go.
So,
how long?
Hopefully, a little less creepily than Luke's. Yeah,
we didn't really talk about that last time, did we?
Let's not.
We'll
gloss over. Let's just say it was a good movie and we enjoyed it. And he's a fruity Frenchman.
And he's a bad man.
Skipping that, let's go to the cast.
Moving swiftly along.
So, obviously, we've already chatted about her last week. Milika Bogdana-Jovovich, also known as Lilu, the Supreme Being, playing Alice, no last name. She doesn't have a last name, and her name is never spoken throughout the film, but she is known as Alice in the credits, and then subsequent films. But yes, we chatted about her a lot. Other cast members... We have Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, yes.
Also known as Ana Lucia Cortez. And she plays Rain Ocampo. She's not actually in much before this. She's now probably better known for Fast and the Furious, really, isn't she? As Letty Ortiz. I've only ever seen one of them years ago. I
don't really care for those. I'll tell you what she is in, though.
What?
Very recently. The Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, really? I've not seen that.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
I'll tell you what else she was really well known for around this time. Her work driving under the influence, assaulting her roommate, and a hit and run.
Okay, that's
that's
a fair resume, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen most of her work other than that, but she basically plays the same person, doesn't she? She's very good. Oh, another interesting game reference ties in with Gary Oldman. She also did voice work for Call of Duty and also for Halo. She was a Marine in Halo. I think I actually remember that in Halo 2.
Oh, is this?
Oh my god! Yeah, this is the first death. That's it. A little bit more. Is it Gina G?
I don't think this happens the way you think it's going to happen, though.
No.
You just wouldn't do that, would you?
I mean, also, she can clearly get back inside.
Yeah, they could just pull her back through.
Just turn.
Unless the doors are like squeezing in on her, I guess.
Even then, the doors aren't that strong on those things. You can force them open. They're designed.
Yeah, but this is like super secret underground base. Oh no! She'll never be the head of a major corporation. Oh!
It's not a way to get ahead in business.
Indeed. Yeah, very good.
Should we stop?
Yeah, that's it for that.
Well, let me just get through my Michelle Rodriguez here. One other fact I had: she was also in Avatar: Machete. She cameoed in Alita Battle Angel. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
And she lent her very distinctive voice to the Smurfs in 2017.
Well, there you go.
And here we have Mila Jovovich with her boobies out. Apparently, there are whole sequences of this that she was like, "Yeah, we don't need this much nudity."
Yeah,
Apparently it was going to end with her, like, according to the script, it ended with her waking up butt naked on a table and going out into a street, and then it just panning out. She didn't have clothes on, didn't pick up a shotgun or anything. It was just like, okay, the world's over and I'm naked in the street.
Yeah, that's a bit much,
It's a
really,
bit
isn't
much.
it? I mean, I was going to say it's actually fairly... It's unnecessary, but at least it's kind of fairly discreet.
Yeah. And this is her standard facial expression, and you don't know whether she's happy or sad or whatever. Like, it's weird for somebody who I would actually say is a good actor. She's so wooden in this, but it kind of fits. It's very game character.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very much just like it's like the NPC, or what's it called? The audience surrogate kind of just bland character that you can put. I mean, she has no memory, so I suppose that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it shouldn't really work as a character, but she pulls it off.
Especially in that dress.
It's a good dress.
It's a great dress.
It's stylish and practical.
Yes.
Because you can do big high kicks in it.
Yes.
Now, I'm not terribly familiar with Resident Evil games because I don't really like them very much.
Nor do I. But
call me crazy. Especially the first one. It's just horrid. But
what's it called? Total Recall moment where it's the opposite result.
Like,
Melina, that is my handwriting. She's like, no, it's not my handwriting.
But I do actually think that this is pretty accurate in a lot of ways to the game. There's a lot of bits in it that are just like, this is from the game.
Interestingly, I found out that subsequently they have actually taken inspiration from this film in the later games. So some of the later ones incorporate some of this. But I think what put me off about the games initially was, first of all, I was very young and they were scary. But then when I was old enough to play them, it was the camera angles, all that stuff. It really annoys me that you can hear something groaning and it's like 6 inches away from you, and you move like a little bit and then it's like right on you.
Yes.
And then I did enjoy the I played the Resident Evil 7 or whatever it was in VR.
Yeah.
And that was terrifying.
I can imagine.
That was really good though.
I have come to respect the whole camera angle situation in the first game a lot more.
They had to do it. It was the only way they could get the
graphics. I mean, it was a limitation of the technology that they had. It was easier just to have essentially just matte paintings as backgrounds.
So would you say that you forgive it in the same way that you forgive Superman 64?
No, I would never forgive that game for anything.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it does kind of lend to the creepy atmosphere of the whole thing. You don't really know what's around the next corner.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, you can hear something groaning, and
like
you know it's there, but you don't know exactly where it is.
It's like games like Superman 64 where they just have to drop fog over everything because their draw distance is so crap. And that's what made, I think, Silent Hill. That's the I've never actually played it. I think that's it.
Neither have I. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just, that's game design, isn't it?
Did she seriously just like wake up on the floor of a shower with her hair looking like that?
Pretty much, yeah. So this is a bit that I'm talking about, because like in the game, if you try to leave the house at the start, spooky thing happens and you're forced back inside, and that's kind of what's going on here. And it's not exactly what happens in the game.
Is this meant to be like her just not hearing the helicopters landing outside or something? Do you know what I mean?
Well, like, she's probably got a pretty severe concussion, you know?
So, cast. This time in order of appearance, we've got Mr. Eric Mabius here, also known as Ugly Betty's boss.
It means absolutely nothing to me, I'm afraid.
He's playing Matthew Matt Anderson. IMDb says he's also best known for this, and for Cruel Intentions, which I've never seen, but it's a very well-known film.
I think I've seen that.
He's best known to me by, like I say, as Daniel Meade on Ugly Betty. He did like in every episode of that, I think. Lots of other varied TV work. He was in the OC, CSI, something called Eyes for 12 episodes, and a whole bunch of TV movies over the last 10 years, like loads of TV movies. He's like the TV movie man now. So good for him. He's got very, very regular work. He's not that bad. He also played Zod on the recent... Oh, no. I'm skipping ahead. Oh. I read the last line of the wrong paragraph there.
Oh, cheeky.
That's textbook mistake.
This is a beautiful bit of technology. Is ARM computer.
Oh, yeah? What? Yeah.
Just
like
this
a cyber deck.
Just this big brick just strapped to his arm. It's lovely. I love it.
Colin Salmon! He was the one that played Zod on Krypton.
I was going to say, I thought it was him.
One last line there about that. Eric Mabius. Originally, they offered the role to David Boreanaz, Angel from Buffy. Angel, but he had to turn it down because he was filming Angel.
Fair enough. I mean, he should have just done this.
But let's chat about Mr. Colin Salmon.
Oh,
now.
yes, please.
Also known as Dr. Moon.
Dr. Moon, yeah.
He is playing James One Shade. James Shade with one in quotes. So his nickname's One. I don't ever remember any of these characters' names except for Rain and JD.
I don't.
Because she just says it a lot.
It's Alice.
I think
it's the only one. It's Alice
yeah.
and then the rest of them, as far as I'm concerned.
Who else we got? Oh no, Colin Salmon, sorry. He's best known probably for this, according to IMDb, but I'm not really buying that. Also in Aliens vs. Predator and Punisher Warzone, but that was the Ray Stevenson one, not the Thomas Jane one.
Oh, right. I've not seen that one. Yeah.
Known by me as Charles Robinson from the Brosnan Bond films. Remember he was in the Bond films?
Vaguely remember those, yeah.
Lots of random British shows from over the years. He was in Arrow. And the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret, which is an excellent show.
I've never heard of it.
And he played Zod and much, much more.
But yeah, I think he's probably best known for this film outside of the UK. I would say, well, for us especially, I think he would probably be best known as Dr. Moon from Doctor Who.
May well, yes.
But that's
Is that
just
right, Dr. Moon?
That's just because we're... And then you forgot.
Oh, he's not a real moon. He's a Dr. Moon. So he wasn't even a real person. He was a moon.
He was a moon. He was a moon and a hologram
and a doctor.
And yeah, he was.
But not
he
the
was
doctor.
a bit of everything, wasn't he?
I do quite like the sort of bite thing she has mounted on the back of her torch. She obviously holds that in her mouth a lot. It's practical, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
She's
and
spotted something.
You can use it as a little scraper if you want.
You need to get the frost off your car in the morning.
Yeah. Ha ha ha! Jump, being pally with your. Be professional.
It's very much.
God's sake.
She's very much got the vibe of John Connor's mum when she appears in Aliens. Of like
what?
You know John Connor's mum, who's like, "Oh, Wolfie's fine, honey."
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
But in Aliens, she's the tough marine.
Yeah,
doing the chin-ups. It's like, you have me mistaken for a man? She's like, no, have you? Aliens. Like,
yes, I remember.
But I get such vibes of her from Rain in this.
I mean, well, very similar characters, aren't they? Just sort of gruff and tough soldiery types, but maybe with a heart of gold, maybe?
Oh, no, she's just gruff and tough, soldiery type. And an absolute horn dog.
Right. All right, oh.
I don't know, that's the vibe
I
get
look,
from
it's not Thomas Jane.
What?
It's not Thomas Jane that was in that train.
Oh.
Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Thomas Jane, but it really looks like it should be. You're going to tell me that it is Thomas Jane.
It's not Thomas Jane,
okay.
no. But I'm trying to remember the actual name of people. There were actually a lot of people on here with just colour names. So there's a Mr. Grey, Mr. Red, Mr. Black. And in fact, I have a special section coming up for you.
Okay.
Including these people, and I think you might enjoy it.
Right.
Only a few more people.
I'm looking forward.
It should be noted he's doing very heavy and aggressive air quotes at this point. Well, I'm pleased to hear that. I also did the aggressive air quotes.
Yeah, I think we're adequately expressing the air quotes. Good. I think actually, but it's good to clarify in an audio medium.
Yes, he pointed aggressively. Who else have we got here? So JD is played by Pasquale. I don't know how you want to say it. Alerda. A lot of he's a Swiss actor. It's a Swiss name. I'm misreading it. I didn't look up an IPA pronunciation guide for his name. I apologise.
Well, you should.
He's not been in much I recognise other than this, and he actually mostly seems to star in German stuff. So there's like loads and loads and loads of credits and German shows and things like that.
They've got a lot of festival campsite water containers in this warehouse.
They do.
I suppose it makes sense.
I
You've got to
always
store your
love
water
this-
somewhere.
I always love this motion sensing sort of AI scanning thing. It's very much like early Iron Man when he puts on his thing and he's like scanning his preferences.
Yeah.
And it feels a bit also like the similar tech they did in Tomb Raider, the first one, when he's like they're raiding the house.
Okay.
And he's like
yeah.
tracking all the motion and stuff. I did enjoy it. I like a good AI, a good UI rather. A lot of this was filmed in like abandoned train stations in Berlin, so that's why a lot of the sets look a bit kind of like industrial and real, because they actually are real places. And they've just
I mean, it was a real train. That was quite impressive.
It was, yes. Who else we got in this? Heike Makach as Lisa, who pops up in the flashbacks and things in this.
Yeah.
She was Mia in Love Actually,
Mm-hmm.
and a few other things I haven't seen, but mostly, again, a German actor / TV host. Apparently she went out with Daniel Craig for 7 years and has been the face of L'Oreal since 2012.
Well,
Which
there you
sounds
go.
like a tough job since they stopped using rabbits. Being the face of L'Oreal must be painful. Is that for testing purposes? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't think so.
Okay.
Could be.
Who else have we got? Mr. James Butler as Clarence. Also best known for this. Something called Snowden, Big Game. I haven't seen either of those. All this research is actually really starting to make me question my movie knowledge. Like, because I get through these, I'm like,
I don't know these people. I like all this underground map
and
situation.
The voiceover about the hive. I mean, it's so much like a video game as well. They're like totally not worried about like literally lampshading it.
Well, yeah.
Saying, look, this is the start of the level. You need to get through to the end of the level.
Yeah.
And that's him like holding his like wrist computer on the screen of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
All very meta. Who else we got? One more here. Martin Cruz plays Chad Kaplan. What a name.
Kaplan.
Chad Kaplan. He was known for this, and also for 116 episodes of something called Dream Team and Dead or Alive. He's not in loads, but he's been in Casualty, Heartbeat, 11 episodes of Neighbours, various other things since the early 90s. The question is, and this is how we lead into the next round.
Okay.
The question is, were they ever in the bill? Question.
Oh my God!
We're bringing it back.
It's back. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Okay, so the question is, Martin Cruz as Chad Kaplan, was he in the bill?
Which one is he? I don't know which one he is.
I can't quite remember. I'm gonna need to pull the page up to show you a picture of him. Where's Chad Kaplan?
I could look it up myself, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna give you his name and tell you he's been in Casualty and Heartbeat.
Well, if he's
also
a guy,
11 episodes of Neighbours. But he's also been in lots of other things since the early 90s. So was he in the bill? Question.
I think it's almost certain that he was in at least one episode of the bill.
So is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
I'm afraid you are wrong. He is not in the bill. But don't worry. Do not worry. For this was just an intro.
Oh.
That was a little practice.
Oh, okay.
Because you see, the next section is called "Were the characters with colours for names in the bill?" Question mark.
Okay.
That's the name of the round.
Right. This is.
And so we have
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names that are colours. Okay. And you have to tell me whether the actors who gave performances as these characters who have just names for colours, were they in the bill? Question mark.
Or colours for names.
Yes. Well, yes. Exactly that. How are they getting on here? Are they about to go down the lift shaft? Did they find the severed head? Or is it being cleared away by the Red Queen?
I think so.
I feel like there's going to be like a few corpses in there and just the head would have been taken away somehow.
Probably some zombie came along and ate it or something.
Actually, that does actually remind me of a slightly interesting thing that I didn't put in the interesting or not interesting section, which is also coming. Don't worry.
I'm anticipating greatness.
There was something they were saying about, remember we've all seen this, so spoilers for what I'm saying. The sequence with the corridor where they all go through on the way through to shut things down and they all die.
The famous
when they come back, the corridor's empty.
Section.
And it's obviously a reference to the fact that you go into an area, kill loads of things in a game, and then on the way back through again, they're all gone because they have to deload them. So it's a similar thing again. I think it's just the head just materialised or dematerialised for the next players to enter the space.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
The section where the characters with colours for names in the bill ? Let's go. We have Ryan McCluskey as Mr. Grey. He was in Doctor Who Dreamland in 2009. Best known for this and the movie Wimbledon. Were they in the bill ? And take your glasses off so you don't cheat.
I can't even see.
I'm going to shrink this.
As if I would cheat.
No, you wouldn't. You're very honourable in these quizzes. I'm very impressed.
To my detriment, really, because I mean, I could easily cheat and win, and no one would ever know.
You could do your own research.
I could do. I mean, couldn't be bothered. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Look, I want someone to come and help me do this. Oh, you can choose the movies. You can do the research. Oh, thanks very much.
Listen, I've done loads of these. All right.
I actually quite enjoy it.
It's good fun.
It's good fun.
Anyway, it's good fun. Anyway,
but the question is,
we're
Ryan
stalling.
McCluskey, Mr. Grey, was he in the bill ?
Again, which one of these people is he?
He's Mr. Grey.
Yeah, but what does he look like? I don't know.
He looks like the actor who plays him, Ryan McCluskey.
I don't... Right, none of this helps. So this is just going to be a complete crapshoot, but...
I mean, there might be some images...
What else did you say he was in? Was he in...
This is Mr. Grey, here. Don't look at these.
Okay, that didn't help.
Right,
I'm just going to... Yeah, okay, I'm going to say he was in the bill.
He was in the bill.
Nice.
Well done, Ding. You've got a point.
Oh, God, we're not keeping score again,
are
we?
Well, no, we're not. I'm calling it. You got a point. Just remember it and appreciate it as a sort of moral
Well,
post.
anyone listening along, feel free to count my score and put it in the comments or whatever.
That would be very handy because I'm definitely not doing that. Next person, we have Oscar Pierce as Mr. Red. He plays the search team leader in Captain America 1. He's also in this and War and Peace. Well, was he in the bill ?
I am not picking up a big The Bill vibe off of this person, so I'm going to say no, they were not in the bill.
Okay. You are correct, they were not in the building!
Oh, yeah!
You're doing well already.
I'm very good. Jump scare eyes!
Oh, yeah. Did you know that actress learned to scuba dive for that scene?
Nice. Seems unnecessary,
It
but
really does.
I mean,
they could
learning
have done
a new
what they
skill, that's good.
They could have done what they did at the end of Blade when Wesley Snipes refused to open his eyes and just CG something.
Yeah! Oh, that's hilarious.
Really
you know, in some versions of that, at the end he transforms into the guy from Prison Break that plays Dracula.
What?
Like he's lying on the slab in the morgue or whatever it is. The bit where he's supposed to open his eyes and they're CG'd over.
Yeah.
There are some versions of that where they just cut out the bit where he's supposed to have his eyes open and he just morphs into...
That's just
it's a very strange movie.
You sure that's not a fan edit?
I mean that entire film is arguably just a fan edit because nobody was really taking it very seriously, especially Wesley Snipes. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
But no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, do these people who have colours for names...
Where are these colour names coming from, anyway?
I mean, all the sort of backstory and all the people that are all in the flashbacks and the suspicious people, they've all got just colour names.
Oh, right, okay.
That's basically it. It's
right,
all the
so
people.
They're not main cast.
Well,
then.
some of them sort of pop up, and I think we have seen them. One of the ones who got their head chopped off, they were in colour.
Oh, right.
You know, all these sorts of things. So, in fact, I believe this is who we're coming to. Indra Ove as Ms. Black.
Right.
Was in this, and The Fifth Element as the stewardess. We have another connection.
Oh my giddy aunt.
She was also in Star Wars Episode 9 in the First Order.
Sorry, what? Episode 9?
Yeah, it's what IMDb said, and I didn't think they made that one. But
no, they didn't. They definitely didn't. They must have planned it out and cast it and all that kind of stuff.
Well, certainly she was cast in it.
Yeah,
so that's all I know. That's all I know.
It's a shame they never made that.
Yeah,
but it would have been good, I think.
She was also in Sex Education and Breeders on TV. They're both
quite
popular. Also in Casualty.
Right.
Holby City,
Okay.
and Bugs.
Bugs!
The question is,
man, Bugs!
were they in the bill? Question mark.
They've got to have been in the bill. If they were in Bugs, they've got to have been in the bill.
Answer?
That's my final answer.
You're wrong. They weren't in the bill.
Fuck! How could you be in Bugs and not be in the bill?
I
suppose,
right?
actually, she's maybe just slightly too young to have been in the Bill era, maybe. I don't know, when was Bugs? I suppose that was...
Around the same time
Around
as
the
Bill
same
era,
time, wasn't it?
Late 90s?
Yeah. Maybe she was given the choice between Bugs and the Bill.
And she
I mean, that's
the superior show.
Can you imagine being given that choice?
Working alongside Carl McLaughlin.
I don't know who that is.
He was the Australian one.
Okay.
He was in Neighbours. That's the only reason anybody knew him, because he was in Neighbours before that.
You're overestimating my memory of
I used to watch a lot of Neighbours.
I watched a lot of Neighbours as well. I think everybody did. It was kind of the law for a while.
Sadly, you didn't get that one there. That's another disappointment.
Yeah.
But we have Dr. Green coming up.
Dr. Green.
Anna Bolt. And I believe she's the one who we just saw open her eyes underwater.
Right.
That was Anna Bolt. So she was known for this and, again, Dead or Alive. So there's a lot of recurring video game movie actors in 3 movies.
Yeah.
She was also in Doctors and in Heartbeat and in Casualty and in Holby City, but was she in the bill? Question mark.
I mean, that's a lot of shows.
She wasn't in Bugs
to be in. Ooh, see, this is tricky because I'm tempted to say no because that's a lot of other shows to be in, but at the same time, I could...
Well, you were going to say yes for the last ones for a lot of the same shows. Are you going to switch it up for the same reasons?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm just going to say yes, they were in the bill.
And you are correct, they were in the building.
Nice.
This next one I think you're going to really enjoy.
Okay, bring it on.
We've got Mr. Joseph May as Dr. Blue. He was in episodes.
Oh, yeah.
He's done lots of game voice work and TV appearances.
Little link back to Matt LeBlanc there.
In particular, he played Chase McCain in Lego City Undercover.
Oh my god! I love that game.
He was in Hollyoaks, he was in Bugs, and he was in Stargate Atlantis after this, and then he did the American dub of Thomas the Tank Engine. But the question is, was he in the bill?
I'm going to say no for that one.
Even though he was in Hollyoaks and Bugs?
Yeah, I'm
well,
not.
You are correct, he was not in the building.
Great.
Not in the building.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I sort of get it. That was almost a joke.
It was an unintentional joke.
Yeah.
Didn't really, God, that was a janky, very janky crash zoom there. I think that's him. I think that we're talking about.
That's him? That doesn't help.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he's got his hand... Oh no, somebody's got their head chopped off.
He looked like Atlantis Man, but maybe he's not Atlantis Man.
Oh my god, that's
horrific.
Smart. Oof.
Oh, and that one, well, she's not felt a thing. She'll never be the head of a major corporation either.
Yeah, she's... it's not a great time to lose your head, is it?
That reaction from Colin Salmon was just like, fuck! Her head just came off.
It's coming back. It's lasers. I suppose they are sort of conscious lasers. Oh, gotcha.
It's the tip of the knife here that's great as well.
Yeah. That's a pretty powerful laser.
I mean, it really is. That's a lightsaber. That's not a laser.
Yeah. You probably actually wouldn't be able to even stand in that corridor with the lasers being active.
And there goes Colin Salmon.
So this is very...
Cube.
Very cube. Very cube. I like the way his eye kind of starts leaking at that point. That's a little attention to detail that they didn't need to put in there. Like his eye juices start
it was pretty
leaking
nice,
out.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty sweet.
I haven't seen Cube in a long time.
I've not.
It's really very questionable in a lot of ways, if I remember rightly.
I just remember it having McKay and Esri Dax in it.
Oh, yeah, Thingy from... we said when we did Lost in Space, the Thingy, what's her face? You just said that.
Esri Dax.
Yeah.
From playing Esri Dax. Nicole de Boer is her name.
What, the actor or...?
The person who plays Esri Dax.
Right. Who's Esri Dax?
She's the second host of the Dax symbiont that we see in DS9 after Jadzia. Jadzia
No
Dax.
idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you know DS9?
I
You know the woman with the spots down her neck?
Right, yeah.
That's Jadzia Dax. She
Right.
dies,
Right,
and they take the little space lizard worm thing out of her symbiont,
right.
and they put it into somebody else. So they have all the memories and knowledge, but they all
Okay.
have a slightly different personality and look like Nicole DeBoer now.
Right.
This is like her eighth person. She was a bloke loads of times before, but Cisco keeps calling her old man. It's really, really surreal.
I apologise to everyone for this. I have no idea. I'm sure this is meaningful.
You've never watched DS9?
I've not really watched
Oh,
DS9.
you need to get on
no.
that.
I started watching it, and I don't know. Maybe it's like a next generation kind of situation where you just skip most of the first series, because I remember the first series of DS9 being just not that great, really.
Yeah,
there's a whole thing with Cisco
it
going
finds its feet
into
a lot quicker than other shows, though. So by the end of the first season, it's good, and there are some good episodes in the first one. It's just a bit dated, the first season now.
Maybe I'll just go through and watch all the Odo episodes, because I remember him and he's awesome. My favourite fact about him is the fact that every so often he has to go back to his quarters and
melt into a bucket.
reassume his natural state, and he's just got a bucket that he'll rest in. That's very funny.
Yeah. And fun fact about that bucket, he has just a custom bucket, and I think it's like a Bajoran thing that he uses.
Yeah.
In the recent series of Star Trek Picard, they decided to reintroduce the changelings, and I was like, oh great,
Okay.
And they talk about how they've got to go and revert to their shape, so let's go and find their pale, and they just assume that there's going to be a specific pale that they have to go into.
Right.
So this is a changeling hiding on another ship, and for some reason they bring their custom specific bucket and hide it in a wall panel, rather than just find something on the ship that they can melt into for a few hours.
I
It makes
imagine.
no sense. Why would you bring that with you?
No, I mean, I imagine for that sort of thing, you would probably want a bucket that you're comfortable with and familiar with, if you're going to literally slop yourself into it. You wouldn't just want to use any old bucket. You don't know what's been put in there.
You just need to carry along a little collapsible one, like those little fold-up camping mugs.
I suppose.
Just get something that you're comfortable with that you can keep in your back pocket and you're sorted.
Yeah.
Have a plastic bag, for Christ's sake. Just hang it on the door handle. Hang it on the door handle and just hang in a plastic bag.
What if it splits, though? That's going to be a whole situation.
You double bag.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not a lunatic. Oh, Christ, we missed the whole reset thing. This is another sort of gamey thing where you push a button and something else terrible happens. So you reset it and all the doors open. That's
there's a bit of... Because there's not a lot of puzzling going on in this, because obviously Resident Evil is quite known for its puzzles and stuff, which was another thing that put me off with the games, because it's always you find a thing where you have to put a weird shield emblem into a crow statue or something.
Yeah.
You were supposed to have picked it up 10 levels ago, but you didn't because your inventory was full of fucking herbs or whatever. That's not a good nail picking thing.
It's the toe knife. What's wrong with the toe knife? Everyone's got a toe knife. If you haven't seen Always Sunny, that was very weird. I do like all the sort of... There's a lot of tumble dryers kicking around, all these hoses connecting everything in between. Got to get the lint out of the machines.
Yeah, what is all of that for? I mean, presumably it's some sort of... it's some sort of coolant system.
Maybe it's carrying the dry ice that's leaking.
Yeah, pretty much. Because these are all, zombie containers.
They're all liquor tanks. Or are they just zombies, or are they all liquors?
I think they might be... I think they might all be liquors, or they might be different things.
I mean, storage pods of some description. There's a guy coming up here who is walking on a twisted ankle.
Oh yeah,
and that's just the actor being a badass. Apparently, got loads of dancers who are just really flexible to do all the cool janky jerky motions.
Yeah,
and they're so they'd stick the makeup on people.
Oh no, she been bit.
She gonna turn.
It's
cut your hand off right now and you'll be fine. But you don't, so you're gonna die.
I would rather just keep my hand, to be honest.
What, die? I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're probably going to die in this situation anyway, and, losing a hand is going to severely impact you.
You're going to be more useful to everyone else until you turn.
Yeah. It's I know I'm going to turn at some point. At some point, you're going to have to shoot me in the head. That's absolutely fine. If you could wait until after I've turned, that would be great.
She was crazed. She bit me. Her delivery in this is great.
Oh my god, it didn't work! Shoot them in the legs
in the
again!
eyes!
You would just... What is this? What is this waste of ammunition?
That was a powerful fucking SMG right there.
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense.
That was like a thunder gun.
But I enjoyed it, so there you go.
What was all that shooting?
It was...
We found a survivor and you shot her? She was crazed. She bit me. Look at the state of my fucking hand. She took
And
a
also-
chunk clean out of her.
She was very clearly a zombie. Like...
Do you want to know how many times they used the zombie word in this film?
Once, I think.
Zero.
Oh, really?
They never say zombie.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Are there any zombies out there? Don't say that. What? The C word? It's ridiculous. Well, are there, though? Oh, I don't know. Have a look. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Oh, yeah. Lots.
Yes. There's no one else coming.
I'm afraid we've forgotten to continue with the quiz here.
You've forgotten.
I forgot. I got distracted by the excellent movie. We are still playing. Is this person with colour for a name in the bill? Question mark. And the next question is.
There's the ankle.
There's the ankle. Yep, that's not a broken ankle. That's just a man with a very bendy ankle.
Yeah, you can tell he's kind of leaning on his.
It's pretty good, though.
It's
pretty
good. That's good zombie acting in this.
There is some crazy.
And I like the fact that they actually bring. That's very cool. I like that. Bit janky with the CG, but
yeah,
it's fine.
I
like that.
It's good for what it is.
Like it's actual people. It's not like a I Am Legend situation.
Oh,
where
no,
they're
yeah.
all like CGI monstrosities.
I mean, it would be awful for that. They did have CGI enhanced animatronics for the liquor and stuff. In this.
Yeah.
Some of it's good, some of it's not.
Anyway,
the next character we want to ask is we've got Robert Tannen. He plays Dr. Brown. He actually only has 6 IMDb credits that I could see. He's
Tannen.
He's best known for this and playing Stig in Stig of the Dump. The poor man.
Oh wow!
But was he in the bill? Question mark.
I mean, Stick of the Dump. That was a very long time ago.
Crackety, excuse me.
So I'm gonna say yes, they were in the bill.
With only 6 IMDb credits, they were not in the bill. I'm very sorry to say.
Thanks.
But we can move on to this next one. Maybe you'll do better here. We have Stephen Billington as Mr. White.
Okay.
He was in the movie Braveheart. He was also on TV in Jonathan Creek, Coronation Street,
Coronation Streak.
Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, and 11 whole episodes of Casualty. But was he in the bill? Question mark.
I mean, again, this is just going to be a complete guess. I think I'm about 50-50 for these, which is pretty good for sheer guesswork.
Well, that's how guesswork usually works, isn't it?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
So how
So
are
not
you getting on
like
here?
25% or I don't know. I don't know how things work. Were they in the bill?
Oh, I think this is one of the colour people. That she was
That's a
chatting to.
crow and a statue. What are you talking about?
Well, before
Those
the
weren't
crow
people.
and the statue. That was it.
This
Oh,
bit with the keys really annoys me.
I believe.
Look
and I
look
might
at
be
this.
mistaken,
Look at what he's
I
doing.
agree, but I think this person.
What's that all about?
I think that's the director there.
All right.
And I only know that from my friend yesterday telling me that because I mentioned this film we were going to watch, and they said, "Oh, fun fact about that: the director is the one that comes up when he's like scrabbling around trying to get the keys." And so I think that's him. But then again, maybe it's not because he's on fire and it may be a stuntman. I don't remember, and I didn't catch the fact when I was looking through IMDb, so it might be bullshit.
Okay.
It might not be. If it's not, way for my friend. Who has
Welcome
a good
to our
fact.
new segment, Bullshit or Not Bullshit, we'll never know.
Yeah. Only got one more colour name left now.
Okay, wait, did we... Mr.
Oh, did you tell me whether they were in the bill or not?
Mr. White, was it?
Mr. White, yeah, were they in the bill or not? They were in Coronation Street, Jonathan Creek, 11 episodes of Casualty. Were they in the bill?
Oh, I said that they were, and you said that they weren't.
They were not in the
Right.
bill, though. Sadly not. But the last one we
Damn,
have,
I could have cheated.
we've got Fiona Glaskett here as Ms. Gold.
Ooh.
This person played the young Professor McGonagall in Fantastic Beasts.
Boo.
Best known, I don't know, the first Fantastic Beasts film I actually really like, and I hate
Really?
myself for liking. I don't know why. I just find it really nice to have a male protagonist who's not an absolute
Well,
macho prick, and I really
yeah.
enjoyed his character arc and like the actual character of him was really nice in the first one.
Yeah.
And all the side characters, it was just very uplifting for what is essentially a really drab universe.
Yeah, it was fine. But just also boo.
I mean, yeah, he got shit. So, oh god, he's gonna get chomped.
No! Not the character that we don't think has had any lines so far.
Wasn't he the one fiddling with the computer a minute ago?
Well, probably. I don't know.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Pretty. So the question is, this person here, they were in Fantastic Beasts, like we say, boo. Best known for Brooklyn and Julia, whatever those films are, I haven't seen them. Also in the TV show Episodes.
All right.
And they also appeared on Holby City, Casualty. Well, I need to correct that. This is Point, but it should have said Poirot. And an episode of Ballykiss Angel.
Wow.
But the question is...
I shall use my little grey cells to work this out.
Indeed, but was this person in the bill, question mark?
Yeah, there's some janky liquor CG.
Ooh.
Were they in the bill? I'm going to say no.
I'm afraid they were in the bill.
Oh, shite.
Well, I'll tell you what, because you struggled on that last one, I've got a little special bonus mention for you.
Okay.
I've already mentioned that Jason Isaacs was, he actually plays an unnamed doctor in this, / narrator. Mm-hmm. But it's possible it's actually an uncredited appearance of his, or a similar character, Dr. William Barking from the game. Ian Glenn apparently replaced him as Dr. Isaacs in honour of him as a name because he couldn't come back in the later films. Right. So Jason Isaacs was apparently going to come back in Resident Evil Apocalypse as Dr. William Barking, but they renamed the character to Dr. Isaacs and had him in the next one, and that's just a nod to him. But the question is, was Jason Isaacs in the bill? Question mark.
Oh, I should know that. No, he wasn't in the bill.
He was in the bill.
Oh, I should have known that.
There we go.
I defied my instincts. That's not cool.
Well, we can take a little breather there. You did okay. I think you got about half of them.
Yeah, well.
Somebody in the comments, if they can be buggered, can tell us. Oh, here comes the crazy sequence. Did you notice when she put that leather jacket on, it was quite big and baggy, and now it actually fits her quite well?
I guess. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, honestly, to her putting the jacket on. Oh no, it's the dogs!
It's a pretty good look, though, the dress and the leather jacket.
Who let the dogs out? I think they let themselves out, actually.
Yeah, I really think they did definitely do that. In a very scrapey way.
Yeah.
It doesn't look fun.
No. You might say that they're barking mad, because that guy's name was Barking that you were talking about before.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
It was, yeah, William Barking.
Yeah.
Dr. Bill Bark. Creaking. Yeah, the hearing assisted subtitles are quite amusing sometimes.
Yeah.
And look, what expression is she doing now? Is she doing...
Well, see, that's the thing. There's a lot of intensity.
There's a lot of little micro expressions. But I feel like she could be a little bit more expressive.
I don't. I think it suits the character quite well. I mean, look at that. That's quite clearly fear that's being expressed there. It's subtle acting. I like it. It could quite easily have just gone, because everybody else is quite cartoonish and overblown to an extent. Not overly so, but there's a bit of that going on. I like the fact that she's quite restrained and, and then she learns how to do a big kick, and I'm like, that's awesome!
It is.
That's a big kick. I'm amazed that zombie didn't get, extra zombie powers from all those chemicals.
Yeah,
My God.
That's more comic book logic than video game logic, isn't it?
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Is she going to go for the gun?
Yes, we've seen this film. She's going to get the gun.
All right, just playing the game,
Oh, okay. Well, we've got another game we can play.
What's that?
It's called Interesting or Not Interesting.
Oh, is it time for that already?
It's not necessarily time for that yet, but
well, we can come. It's
to
up to you. It's your show.
Well, we can spread
it's my show, but
I think I like spreading them out a little bit.
That's very funny.
What was that?
Turn
around and just shit tons
of
dogs.
Fights off that one dog and then goes into the room, and then there's loads more.
Oh, I think I've read somewhere that this big final kick that she does took ages to fucking shoot. And she trained for ages to do it.
Umbrella branded
Yeah.
bullet casings as well. That's commitment.
They do make...
Oh my god, it's a surprise dog!
They make guns, drugs, and bioweapons, don't they? Boosh!
Now, the good thing about that is it does seem feasible that a human being could do that if they had enough jumpy power, you know?
Yeah. One swift boot to the head.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's still going, is he?
It's Ugly Betty's boss, everybody! Who had a really incredible arc throughout the story of Ugly Betty.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll briefly spoilerize it for you.
Okay.
So he starts off as a sort of millionaire playboy asshole that owns a fashion magazine or some shit.
Right.
And he's always trying to, go out and date all the sexy chicks. And then he gets a really, really, really hideously, horribly ugly assistant called Ugly Betty.
Right.
And she's not ugly at all. Played by America Ferrara. She just has braces and glasses, so she's ugly.
Okay.
And by the end of the series, he realizes that the braces and the glasses don't make her ugly because she's a beautiful person, and so he falls in love with her, and they live happily ever after. It's a crap show, but it's entertaining. It was entertaining at the time, and a lot of the other cast in it were great. Like Willoughby the Slater, just the fucking badass like magazine boss.
Yeah, if you say so. I'll give it a miss. Oh, zombie! Ah!
He's doing rock hands. He's a rocker. Did you see that? He had like double horn hand in it again.
One in the breach and an extra in the mag. If I had a penny for every time somebody told me that, I'd have exactly 0 pennies.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Wow, this is all very interesting spreadsheets and graphs.
Oh no, this is Dr. Green, isn't it?
It's
Annabelle?
Lisa.
Or is that Lisa?
Yeah, that's Lisa.
Okay.
You could tell because he just went Lisa.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
Oh no! Oh, is he going to get bit? Is he going to get bit? Is he going to get scratched?
This is another kind of movie, sis!
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. That'll...
He's like, oh, don't worry about it. She was trying to be creepy.
Memories.
Gotta have a flashback. Flashback. Oofed. Dead people. Very, very moody. It's very much like a video game cutscene.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it's very much like a Resident Evil cutscene as well. Somebody's loved one turns into a zombie, and that person is reluctant to recognise that is the case, and somebody else has to come along and kill them.
It's just occurs to me. We've now done together, I think, 3 movies based on video games. Did Sonic and Mario and this.
Uh-huh.
Which do you think is the best video game interpretation so far?
Well, that's an interesting question. Because I would definitely...
Other than the obvious answer being Mario.
Well, I mean, obviously. It had a lot of Mario elements to it. It had at least
they
one...
had someone in it called Peach.
Yeah, it had at least one sound effect.
And they had Luigi.
Indeed.
No, Luigi Mario.
Luigi Mario, come on now.
Luigi Mario Brothers, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not on form today. I forgot Gary Oldman.
So I think Sonic the Hedgehog is obviously the best of the as a movie. It is the best of. No, actually, no. I don't know. That's really difficult.
I think I enjoy this one more.
Or
maybe equally with Sonic.
But we're not talking about whether they're good movies. We're talking about whether they're accurate adaptations.
Yes.
I would say that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie isn't a particularly accurate adaptation of the games, really.
And Mario certainly isn't.
Mario definitely.
I mean, this
not.
isn't either, but I feel like it matches the tone of it.
It's pretty close though. Like I say, there's a lot of. It's got all the elements. It's got the house. It's got the weird science shit going on under the house. It's got the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah, I suppose you just have to rush through a lot.
It's got somebody in a practical and stylish red dress doing big high kicks.
You know what else it has in common with the Resident Evil video games? The 6 sequels.
Yeah. I think technically there's more than that with Resident Evil.
But I think it's just in Resident Evil 8.
There's loads of little side games and like your Code Veronicas and
Village, is that VIII? That's 8, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
And yeah, you're right. They did do Code Veronica, and that was supposed to be 4 or something, wasn't it? Back in the day, or 3.
And then there was 5, but we don't talk about 5.
I don't talk about many of them much, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Oh, those magnetic lock doors would be a right bugger.
They're always just getting their arms grabbed and caught in things. You know, adapt to the situation, people.
Report any injuries.
Yeah. So they're back in this room again, aren't they?
But what happened to the bodies?
Ooh.
They evaporated between the scenes.
Maybe a licker came along and ate them.
I think that's the guy from Atlantis.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
I
like his.
I do feel like a lot of the male characters in this look the same, and I struggle to tell them apart.
Yeah,
like they're all just generic white guy badasses.
Yeah, just all 30-something, slightly greying hair. Yeah, white guys. It's
Oh dear.
Very similar stuff. But I like that guy's character in this. The guy that we think is from Atlantis. Not the real Atlantis. I'm sure he's just from a normal, real country that actually exists.
What do you mean? The real Atlantis is Atlantis from Stargate Atlantis. It's a double bluff kind of cover up. It's a government.
Oh right, okay. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot all about that.
You've never seen Wormhole Extreme? That's clearly like a fucking.
I've seen some extreme wormholes.
Well, there we go.
But yeah, I like his character in this because you always.
Like
he seems like the kind of character. Well. He seems like the kind of character that would just get killed off immediately, and it always seems like he is going to be getting killed off, and then he just keeps surviving, and it's quite good. It's a bit of a subversion of those expectations, you know. Ah, hologram.
You're all going to die down here.
I think they've done that bit, haven't they? Or is
that
this
I
bit?
Just love that bit.
You're all going to die down here.
You're dead already, Rain. I don't know what you're fussed about. Right,
she's still got a bit of pep in her, you know. She's just still getting a bit sweaty, and
she's the Walking Dead right now.
Well, not yet. I mean, they're all the Walking Dead. In a way, we're all the Walking Dead. You know.
Are you undead?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah. I'm a vampire. Oh. But I'm a cool, sexy Twilight vampire.
You don't look very twinkly, and the sun is out.
Yeah, well, they sort of gave up on the whole twinkly vampire thing in Twilight.
Also, the whole twinkly vampire thing, right? All you need is just sunscreen. And then, like
they do in Blade.
Yeah, but I mean, like, surely they would be able to, the twinkly vampires, they'd be able to live normal lives where they just put on a bit of foundation and sunscreen.
Also, but you would just not do any of the things that any of those vampires do in those movies, because every decision that they make is really weird and stupid. Like, they've lived for hundreds of years and yet choose to remain as actual high school students. And, like, that's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm Team
honestly.
Jacob. I'm Team Jacob.
I'm Team none of them. No, I tell you what, I'm Team Charlie. Bella's dad. He's the only relatable, likeable character in any of those movies.
Really? I haven't seen them all.
I've seen most of the first one and then kind of gave up on it, and I've seen like videos about them, so I know this. You know enough. I know the deal with them. But yeah, Charlie, Bella's dad, is just, like I say, he's just a normal guy just trying to figure out all this weird shit that keeps happening around him. And his friends keep getting murdered. And
his daughter decides to become a vampire.
And yeah, it's just this.
That was the bit that really surprised me about that. I thought they were going to... I didn't know that. I couldn't have believed that was where it was going.
I couldn't believe they actually made those movies, but anyway. We're not talking about them.
Well, let's go on to interesting or not interesting.
Let's do
shall
that.
Number one. Jason Isaacs. This is a Jason Isaacs little question here. Fact. He's a personal friend of director Paul W.S. Anderson, and he took a day off of filming the tuxedo for his cameo. Is that interesting or not interesting?
Tuxedo, I remember that.
That's not the Jackie Chan one, is it?
Yeah, I went to the cinema to see that many years ago. It was a fun time.
But the question is, was that little factoid interesting or not interesting?
I'm gonna say it's interesting because I've not heard the tuxedo referenced in a long time.
Yeah, it's not interesting.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's correct, isn't it? I do.
That's
you got it wrong, and it was not interesting.
Me getting it wrong is irrelevant to the noise that you have to make.
No points awarded. I forget.
Do I have to explain this every time? I think I do. Like it's very confusing, isn't it?
So now we have interesting or not interesting number 2. Michelle Rodriguez had informed her agent that if anyone ever wrote a script about Resident Evil, that she wanted to be a part of it.
Okay.
Her agent duly put her in contact with Paul W.S. Anderson, when his screenplay was bought. Is this interesting or not interesting?
I'm going to say that's interesting.
I'm afraid it's not interesting. Of course she wants to be in a Resident Evil movie.
Well, I mean, of course.
Yeah, I mean...
Now that you...
She's well known for drunk driving, beating her roommates and hit and runs. Of course she wants to go and kill zombies.
I mean, is she well known for those things?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Certainly at the time, it was like the year after this came out, like, she had a bit of a crazy thing.
Yeah, I remember
There's loads of mugshot pictures
thing
of her just being a disaster.
I vaguely remember that.
I think maybe she turned her life around now because of the family and Fast and Furious.
Indeed. And the family in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Spoiler alert. That's not really a spoiler. It's a good movie. You should watch it. Everyone should watch it. Force the studio to make a sequel because it's good. Anyway, moving on. Interesting or not interesting, number 3. Milla
Jovovich did all of her own stunts, except for one, which was the pipe jump in the sewer room, so I'm guessing that's coming up. She was discouraged...
It's a zombie man! Oh no!
That was quite a good
you
look.
let
That
yourself get bit in the neck, you silly...
Oof. Sorry, yes, I should continue. She used a stunt double in the scene with the pipe jump because her agent thought she would get strangled by the hanging wires. So basically, because of all the stunts, all the minor cuts and bruises on her in the film are real after a certain point, and no makeup was added. In fact, makeup artists had to cover them up. So is that interesting or not interesting?
I think that's interesting because that's commitment to the role or something.
Ding! You are correct. That is interesting.
Excellent.
And it's similar to The Fifth Element. She had a similar situation with that, where she just...
Yeah, I mean, she goes all in.
She commits. She commits.
She's very good. I would say.
Oh dear, I appear to have 2 number 3s. So, number 3, number 2. According to Milla Jovovich, on the Blu-ray and DVD commentary, which we have but we're not listening to, it was a crew member's birthday on the last day of filming. Bottles of champagne were brought to the set, and Paul W.S. Anderson was worried that the cast and crew would drink too much, but they said they'll just have a glass and no more. Sure enough, the whole cast and crew got drunk whilst waiting for filming the final scenes to begin. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I would say that that's interesting because I like to hear about, backstage, behind the scenes banter between actors and things like that. It's nice to hear about that sort of thing. Folk getting along, working on a project.
Well, I would like to say ding, but unfortunately I'm going to say It's not interesting because, of course, Hollywood is full of drunks.
Well, yeah, you have a point there.
Although, actually, this was actually shot in Germany, so even more of an example.
Well, come on now.
There's loads of British people and Germans in this. Of course they're going to be getting pissed.
Yeah, I mean...
It's free champagne. So yeah, I'm guessing...
I don't think nationality really comes into it when it's free champagne.
This is going to be the sequence where she didn't do her own stunt with the pipe jump or something about wires. I'm guessing that's not Milla Jovovich, and everything else is.
I mean, you could have fooled me. They
got a good stunt double.
They did.
Would you like to come on to... I was going to say number 4, but it's actually number 5 because we had 3 twice.
I'm so confused.
Number
but
5.
Let's
The main actors were told to prepare for the film by getting copies of the game and playing them through. Some of them didn't know if they could complete them in time, so they had to get a video copy of somebody else beating the game and watch it. Is that interesting or not interesting?
That's not interesting, because why would you make them play through all of the games? That's ridiculous. I mean, I keep saying that this has got a lot of elements to it that are very similar to the games, but as you say, it's quite different from the games, so I don't really see what advantage playing any of the games would have had.
Well, I'm very pleased to say you are correct.
Did I actually answer that? I can't remember.
You did, yeah. You were just like, that's not interesting because...
Yeah. I just went off on a rant there.
Yeah, I just said that's not interesting. That's just how actors do it. They're lazy.
Yeah. They're not lazy necessarily. They're
in an ideal world, they are.
Well, in an ideal world, everybody gets to be lazy.
True. Right, we're coming on to not number 5. It's number 5.5 or 6, as we could call it.
The next one.
Number something. When the cast were doing ADR for the film, excuse me, got a hiccup there. Milla Jovovich wasn't happy with her performance. She originally delivered her lines in her own actual natural speaking voice.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Looks like he's gonna kill himself. Maybe he is gonna kill himself. Is he gonna kill himself to stop him being a zombie?
No, they've got to work for their meal.
No, he's decided he wants to live. See, you thought he was gonna die and he doesn't.
You should have held onto that gun and used it as a pistol whipping club thing and just clubbed loads of them.
Yeah, he could have done. But he's got his fists for that. His furious fists. Anyway, let's...
So I shall continue.
Let's do the thing.
I shall repeat the last sentence. I'll just repeat it. So Milla Jovovich wasn't happy with her performance when they were doing ADR, and she delivered it because she delivered all her original lines in her natural speaking voice.
Yeah.
But she decided to loop her entire dialogue by giving Alice a lower speaking register. So
Right.
she sounds a bit deeper. So that's why all of her dialogue is ADR'd, and why a lot of it looks a bit weird with her face. And I noticed that, but never quite twigged why. I'd noticed in the past that there's a lot of ADR in this. But basically, none of the audio of her voice is recorded from set. It's all ADR.
Well, I'm going to say that's interesting because I had no idea. I would never have noticed that at all.
Well, ding! It is interesting.
Yeah.
And I put a note saying ADR was always noticeable, but it does make sense now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, I had no idea. Although now that you've mentioned it, and probably because we can't actually hear the audio of the film, I can't really tell from watching it.
Yes. Oh, CGI.
Oh. That was all right because it was dark and not on screen for very long, so fine.
Well, we've got one more bit of interesting and not interesting.
Okay.
It's technically number 7, but I had it listed as 6.
Right.
But it's 6/7. Before the team enter the hive, at the very start, they set a timer of 3 hours to get out again. In the video game, in order to unlock most bonuses, you have to beat the game in 3 hours or less.
Okay.
So there's a little thing there. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I'm going to say interesting because it's another thing that's similar to the game.
And indeed, Ding, you are correct. You did quite well there.
I did.
Interesting or not interesting? Again, about 50-50 success rate.
Cool.
We'll see how we get on with the quiz.
Oh, God, there's a quiz as well.
You
Jesus.
like the quizzes?
Yeah, I know, but I'm still going to complain about it. It's effort.
I had to write them.
Ghosts! Oh no, there's ghosts now!
No, they're memory ghosts. They're
Still...
not real ghosts.
Oh, right, okay.
She's just standing there having hallucinations about having been there in the past. Whilst not wearing such funky boots and dress.
I feel like she would wear that to the office.
I don't think she would.
I feel like she would get told off for inappropriate work attire, but she would not give a fuck.
This is what they're doing to that other actress now. They've given up testing on rabbits.
Well, just pumping her full of
the
viruses.
face of L'Oreal I was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She's been doing that since 2012, and
I don't like that.
Testing her face.
Don't hurt the little rabbits. You'll turn them into big zombie rabbits.
There's a cure.
Hurrah!
She smiled.
Her eyebrows moved.
Micro smile. No, I shouldn't shit on her. I do like many others.
Yeah, like I say, it's very good.
Like you say,
it's subtle.
It's like I was saying at the start. You want to have a blank slate for the audience.
See, now this is very Resident Evil game. A room that's partially flooded and maybe there's some electricity that you have to switch off by completing a puzzle or something like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I think that this is really missing is a big tentacle monster. And there's no giant spiders either, but that's fine. Could do without them.
Didn't he do it?
What?
This guy.
Do what?
Because he triggered it all, didn't he? Isn't he responsible for releasing it all?
No, I
can't
think
remember who it was, 'cause we
I
get a
think he
flashback,
was.
or
I think
or is
he.
it the other guy there?
I think him and his sister were like
Trying to
infiltrating
take it
the
down.
place to find the cure, or maybe that's just a cover story
I
and
feel like they were
they're
just
actually
trying to
there
take
for
down
industrial espionage. I think he's the one who's like trying to steal the formula. The not Thomas Jane guy. I mean, it's an empty thing. What's to understand? Somebody's probably taken it.
They've half-inched it, didn't they?
Probably.
It's very Lara Croft ponytail she's got going on there.
Yeah, true. Yeah. She would probably
She would have
done
been
a good Lara
Croft,
Croft, actually, yeah.
Although I don't think she could handle the English accent.
Yeah, that's true.
She's certainly not got the...
But you don't necessarily
What was
need
her
to
name?
have
What was
that.
her
I
name?
mean, Lara Croft these days doesn't even generally have the two guns anymore.
Oh,
You
God,
know,
yeah.
if-
Well, we can... Yeah, I mean, we'll pretend that the new ones don't exist. As far as I'm concerned, it'll end it after Cradle of Life.
I don't
That's
really.
different handwriting to the scene earlier.
Well,
Even his handwriting doesn't match his own handwriting.
you try being a continuity person on a movie. You just try doing
So,
that.
yeah, he did
it was him that done it. What a scoundrel.
What a slimy little jobby. Oh, I like the little CGI haze effect of it evaporating.
Yeah, that was quite good.
I don't know if I actually saw it properly there, but...
Oh,
Thank
it was
you.
him at the start with the coffee and the
Yeah,
thing,
it's
and
all coming together.
Yeah, very good.
He's getting onto a train in Berlin.
He's a sneaky guy. Especially sneaky because he could very easily disguise himself as Thomas Jane. I don't know how that would help him, but you know,
Well, if you want
it's
to
a useful
cosplay as the Punisher,
Yeah.
or do a really stupid shaved head like he does in The Expanse. He does look like Thomas Jane.
Did you just insult something about The Expanse?
I insulted his stupid hairdo, yeah.
That's belter culture that you're shitting on there, Sonny Jim.
Fuck you, Belter lover.
Well, I may be a filthy earther, but I fully sympathise with the belter cause.
Yeah, the Belter cause is one of the
The
only
Expanse
justified causes.
is very good. Everybody should watch The Expanse.
The
I've
Expanse is
still
great.
not watched the last series of it
Nor have I.
because I'm kind of like I don't ever want it to end.
I actually haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since
It's
it
so
went to
good.
Amazon, so I think I'm like 2 seasons behind.
Actually, yeah, I think I might be
The
as
last
well.
ones I saw were Shore Agdashlu and the Martian Girl finally teaming up on. I think it was on Mars. Oh no, on Earth. And she goes to Earth and is like really struggling to stand up.
Yes, I remember that.
So that was the
good.
last season I watched. But yes, excellent
God,
stuff.
it's so good. Such a good show.
Shore Agdashlu.
I always remember the bit where because there's the big space ring with the momentum killing
Yes,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's the episode where at the start there's like a race pilot going incredibly fast, and he wants to be the first person through the thing, and obviously he doesn't know that it does the momentum killing.
Isn't he just like
ability,
liquefied?
and he just is shredded. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, it's gruesome as fuck.
Did you also
But
spot
it's awesome.
the cameo from what's his name? Adam Savage floating in space when the thing, in the previous series before the big ring opens up, that thing flies towards Venus and it goes past Earth and it basically disassembles a space station down to its molecules. And Adam Savage is shown like floating around in the space station, and later on he's just like in space amongst all these like perfectly arranged bits of metal, like just floating dead.
Nice.
Well, there's your problem. That's what you say, thinking. I think it's time to get quizzical.
Let's get quizzical. Quizzical.
I actually wrote
I
let's
wanna get quizzical. Let's get into quizzical. Let me hear your questions now.
I hope these are a little easier for you than last time. I tried to make them not quite as punishing. But at the same time, I hope they're a little bit punishing.
I mean, I'm very stupid, so let's see how we go.
Question number 1. What was my little noise? What do I do for my questions?
No.
Question number 1. Do-do. Click. Boosh.
Do click. There we go.
Do click. Shibbly-boo. Which famous director credits this film as a, in quotes, guilty pleasure? Is it A, George Lucas? Is it B, James Cameron? Is it C, Steven Spielberg? Or is it D, Paul Verhoeven?
It's definitely not George Lucas because it's not a tone poem, so he wouldn't give a fuck.
No, it's like poetry, it rhymes.
What were the other options?
So we've got George Lucas, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, or Paul Verhoeven.
I'm kind of leaning towards James Cameron, so I'm going to go with that.
You are correct. Ding.
Yes.
I thought you'd go for a Paul Verhoeven.
I was tempted.
I know. I stuck that in there because it's quite an obvious one.
Yeah. That's some good multiple choice construction.
Good. Yeah, well, I'm glad.
That's very good.
See how you think about this one then. Number 2.
Bring it on.
Before casting Mila Jovovich, who was the director keen to star as Alice? Was it A, Gwyneth Paltrow? Was it B, Halle Berry? Was it C, Famke Janssen? Or was it D, Carrie-Anne Moss?
I think I do actually know this, and I think it was C.
You think it was C, Famke Janssen?
Yes.
You are incorrect. It was in fact, and believe it or not, Gwyneth Paltrow.
What?
I know, right?
Incredible.
I thought that would look like a wild card. I put some more obvious ones in there. Halle Berry, Carrie-Anne Moss, I thought they'd be more believable.
I mean, I just instantly was, as soon as I heard like the first 2 names, I was just like instantly, no, couldn't possibly have been there.
No.
Uh,
But I basically found.
I mean, it could have been.
I searched for people of the exact same age, and I just tried to get 4 people of the same era and the same age.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one. But
there we go. So I'm
wrong.
One for 2.
Yep. Here's a nice little fun one for you. Question number 3.
Oh, finally, some fun.
The liquor puppet had a nickname on set. What was it? Was it A, Dave? Was it B, Carl, with a K? Was it C, Sean? Or was it D, Clint? Was it Dave, Carl, Sean, or Clint?
I think it's probably Dave.
It was in fact Clint.
Oh, really?
I'm very sorry you were wrong.
Wow.
But I'm very pleased I came up with some good multiple choices that tricked you.
I mean, it was a total guess amongst those very generic names.
Fair play. Her hair's wetter now than it was when she woke up in the shower.
Yeah.
Although she has just been underwater.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Pay attention.
Would you like a little final multiple choice quiz?
Oh, is it the last one?
I didn't want to push it because we had the interesting or not interesting.
Okay.
And I know you struggled last time. So, this movie,
there's
a lot of death in this movie.
I've noticed.
But what is the body count?
Oh, God.
Is it A, 96? Is it B, 88? Is it C, 79? Or is it D, 71? How many deaths? How many deaths?
See, I wouldn't have said any of those numbers. I would have said like 12 or something.
I mean, I'm just taking this as read from a fact on IMDb. So.
Well, it could be total bullshit then. In fact, probably is.
It could be half of what it said.
Going to chop the head off, but no, you chopped the computer screen instead.
That screen wouldn't have smashed like that. That was a fake screen.
You don't know that.
That was a fake screen. That shattered like glass and there was no LCD behind the glass.
You don't know
or
what it actually was. It could be anything. Could have been like a prototype touchscreen situation. You don't know. But he's still alive. He's still alive. Anyway, the answer I think is probably the lower of the numbers that you said.
So you're saying D71?
Yeah.
You are wrong. It was in fact B88.
Well, that's a lot of people. Are we including like the zombies that get killed, or just
I believe
people?
It's just every death. Although I suppose technically, if you kill an undead person, is that another death?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, they are unliving, I suppose.
She really does wear that dress very well.
It's a good dress. It's fashionable and
good arms,
stylish and practical. As I say, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah, that's more than a person's worth of blood. Probably. I'm hypothesizing.
I don't think it's more than a person's worth. I mean, it's quite a lot. And I'm presuming most of it's his.
The T-virus changes your eye colour.
Yeah.
I wonder if the cosmetic companies are going to utilise that aspect of it in any way. But
I think that was probably the
a lot of people
original
pay
plan.
Good money for blue eyes. I'm missing already. Jesus.
Chop. Now, what was needed there was a spurt of blood.
Yes.
You dumped me. You chucked. Now, was that a real train?
I don't think that was a real train. I think that was a CG shot. I don't think that's a real needle either, thankfully. That's a bloody thick one.
Yeah, ouch. Although,
I mean,
I think that's probably the least of our worries at this point, you know. Yeah, she's looking a little worse for wear.
Yeah. Wants to sort out that eye makeup under her eyes. She makes her looking very tired.
Yeah. I mean,
red blood there.
You try looking at your best when you've just fought your way through a horde of zombies. You know,
I'd at least hook my hair behind my ears. It's very, very greasy looking. But I'll let her away with it.
Yeah.
Is this the bit where she's about to kill her? She's like, not dead yet.
I mean, you'd just do it anyway. Really, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You.
Oh, they're friends, though, somehow.
At least they passed the Bechdel test.
That's true.
I think this is.
I guess.
Okay. I mean,
at least some aspect of it.
Yeah, but I mean, they definitely talk to each other for more than. Well, there are more than. Well, I was going to say, what's the rule? There's more than two women in a film. They talk to each other and they don't talk about a man. That's the only requirement.
Yeah,
it's a pretty simple test to pass.
I mean, I think they did a little bit of that, but I think it was mostly just Michelle Rodriguez being like,
no,
"Your boyfriend's
allowed to talk
a
about
shit,
a man. You
isn't
just
he?"
can't have that be the only conversation they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder which of those bruises are real and which are not.
Oh no!
More sparks!
Calamity!
Oh gosh, yeah. He gets scritched.
That's going to leave a mark.
It's going to leave a lot of problems behind.
Yeah.
Some very,
Get us the fuck out of here! You're on a train underground. Where are you going to go?
Jumped.
Oh no, he's finally met his match.
That was some pretty flickery compositing work there.
Yeah, you could tell they tried to edit around that.
I'm just wondering if this is actually outputting at 24 frames a second, because sometimes DVDs do that, or is it just movie?
I don't care.
I feel like it might be.
Ooh, a door to the face.
Well, pleased to say that the disc rot hasn't seemed to have affected it so far.
Oh, well, there's still time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the movies at the start of the disc and the little bits at the edge are like the special features, and that's what I'm going to use.
You don't want to drop your gun.
You do.
It's the last thing you want to do. Oh, it's fine.
You want to ram some pipes into them.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't need a gun when you've got a big stack of pipes.
And then find a conveniently snapped off, sharp, pointy one that you can stab into his tongue. Don't know how it's snapped off, but it's there. Ready, spike.
Yeah, has been sliced at a very convenient angle.
That's a OSHA hazard.
Yeah. Oh,
she has a good little zombie look though.
Yeah,
that good little neck crick she does.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, she definitely was into this movie.
Yeah.
You know she's fucking loving every second of this.
Yeah, I think everybody had a bit of fun with this, you know?
They all got pissed on the last day.
Well, indeed. Although sometimes that's
the side of a bad movie.
Yeah. Ooh, ow, ooh.
It's so gnarly to death.
It's gnarly, dude. Yeah. Do you think we got him?
I think you got him. That was an indirect little reference to Star Trek First Contact there. After Captain Picard machine guns and balled to pieces.
I remember.
Poor old Ensign Lynch.
Yep. Well, everyone's dead.
I'm worried about the health and safety conditions in this whole place, generally speaking, because the fire extinguisher behind Rain's head there looked very old and chipped and bent and done. Crappy. It looks like they've not really maintained this.
To be honest, I don't think whoever designed this place was really thinking about that.
Well,
you know? And I appreciate the restraint at this bit, that they didn't have to do like a Indiana Jones roll under the door as it's closing and all that crap. They make it out comfortably, and I appreciate
very close, but comfortable enough. I love the doors open.
Yeah,
heating bill's going to be a bugger.
Yeah.
Wait, they were just about to go outside, and then they weren't outside.
It's a little vestibule. A little foyer.
You could see all the leaves and stuff blowing just outside the door. They were just
about
to go
like
through.
I say, you try being a continuity person.
Well, I think maybe I should be, because I seem to be better
than
these
people. Well, do
people.
it then. What's stopping you?
I don't live in Hollywood.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think that might be an issue.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if they're going to want to like stream it over to me on Discord.
You could ask.
I could ask. I'll email Paul Verhoeven, and maybe he's got a Paul Anderson. Sorry, not Paul Verhoeven. I got him in there. Maybe he's got an email address in the back of the DVD box here.
Oh yeah, because
just says pathe.co.uk.
That'll totally still be an active thing. Yeah, because directors do that. They just leave their personal contact details on the backs of DVDs of their movies. It's a well-known
You've clearly
tradition.
not watched Best of the Worst. That does happen.
Yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish, though. You know.
Yeah, it's not like
look, she's killing scientists. Good on her. Can I get some medical attention here, please?
I think.
Oh, that's nasty.
No, that's not right.
That's going to turn into some sort of a nemesis type situation.
Got to sort yourself out, or else you'll never get to go.
His name is Matt. We finally learned his name.
I said his name right at the beginning.
I wasn't paying attention. That was a long time ago, and I have forgotten.
His full name, in fact, was Matthew Matt Anderson. Well, not Matt Anderson. Matthew Anderson, known as Matt. The Matt is a little inverted comma thing. You didn't see my heavy air quotes.
Yeah. You don't really need to do that. If your name's Matthew, you don't really need to specify that gets shortened to Matt. I feel.
What the hell are they doing to her in here?
Experiments.
Because we don't know if she was infected. But then
It's Jason Isaacs. There he is.
Yeah.
That's Jason Isaacs right there.
I missed it. The eye!
We've come
with a single loose eyelash that bothered me that points down. It looks like you're going to stab it in your eye if you don't adjust it.
Yeah, that'll damage your corneas. Yeah, this would be fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, get these tubes at me!
Like, how long has she even been there? Like, presumably everyone else is dead.
Ooh, ow! Ow!
Yeah, it does not look fun.
Ow! And I mean, I know that was just, like, glued to her head or whatever, but...
They've reopened her scar and closed it up again by those things.
They've done horrible things.
Yeah.
Probably extracting blood or putting in T or G or other lettered viruses.
I've just realised this lab is a lot lower tech than the Fifth Element one, isn't it?
A little bit.
All they can muster is some paper and a bit of sellotape.
Yeah.
Whereas in Fifth Element we had some fancy straps.
Yeah. Let me out.
It's funny that she obviously let them shave that little bit of her head for like a 10-second sequence.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
Guess commitment.
She's committed.
She is. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a spooky zombie.
Although we can't hear it right now, I think this is the.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it didn't go to credits like as she's kind of banging on the glass, asking to be let out. I'm surprised it continued after that point. I mean, it's for like a minute or two.
Nice bit of machined aluminium there.
Or
is that painted wood? That looks a bit like painted wood.
Yeah. I mean, given how easily...
Oh, that's totally painted wood. It just jiggled.
Given how easily she's hacked into it there, I think the whole thing is made of wood.
I don't think it's real. I think it's a prop.
Yeah, I don't think that would work, really.
Can you imagine being in a place with so many biohazard logos on it, not just being shitting your pants?
I mean, I just wouldn't go in.
No, I mean,
if I walked into this place, I would see the big Umbrella Corporation logo on the floor, and I'd be like, "Oh shit!" and then I would leave.
Well, that's what she's doing.
Yeah, well, she's in a slightly different situation. She didn't have any choice.
She didn't elect to be in there.
Yeah, she's not just wandered in off the street. Like, I would see that, and I would be like, I ain't going in there. That's Umbrella Corporation. They are known to be evil.
Raccoon City, we're gonna die.
And also, there's all this going on.
Umbrella Medicals, sheltering your families. Never noticed that poster before. Yeah. So, obviously, passing out in a shower does her hair really well.
Uh-huh.
Passing out in a hospital, she gets a pat shaved.
Well, if she passed out in the shower, she's just kind of lying there, you know. She's in the hospital. They're, doing experiments and stuff. It's going to muss up
this is the bit with the music.
Muss up your do. It's a pretty cool shot, and I like the fact that they've just littered this entire street.
It is a great shot. But remember I was saying at the beginning, this shot would have just been her wandering out naked, completely helpless, and that's how it ended. This is a much better ending. This is like, I'm ready to go take these motherfuckers down.
Yeah.
I've just stolen a police shotgun.
It's all gone
good
to shit.
Stuff.
Yeah, pretty good movie that. I like it.
It's a great movie.
Oh, Slipknot. Fantastic.
Yeah, there's loads of good music.
I don't like Slipknot.
Well,
anyway.
For the movie.
It's appropriate for this, I suppose, yeah. So anyway, that was that movie, and I enjoyed that movie. Did you enjoy that movie?
I very much enjoyed that movie, and I hope you all enjoyed it at home too.
Yeah. Right, let's go. Bye, everyone. Bye.